good, Fly Nation? It's your boy Aaron, aka Mr. Fly Guy, and I am back with another video that is also fly. So today, I know it's been a while, but today is a very special kind of video. This video is very important to me because today is World Autism Awareness Day. It's a day where you're supposed to wear blue to recognize people who has autism. Like, people need to understand, loving, and accept people who has any kind of autism. And so I'm wearing blue because, well, it's blue and white, but I'm wearing blue to show support. So World Autism Awareness Day is a day where you wear blue to show support with people who has any kind of autism. So as you guys know, that I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. And so today I'm going to be sharing my story of how I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. And so I'm sharing my experiences, my truth, and how I'm handling it all together. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So before we get into it, if you're new and want to be part of a nation that is also fly, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos up ahead, and of course comment as always. And let's get into it. So before we get into it, I hope you guys are staying safe with this uncertain times with this COVID-19 pandemic. I know it's hard for all of us. I know it's hard for me. I was laid off of work due to this pandemic. I'm scared, to be honest with you, but I've been washing my hands lately. I've been drinking orange juice. I'm washing my hands each and every single day. I've been aware of my surroundings, and so I just want everyone to know that we will get through this together if you just keep following the guidelines, CDC guidelines and stuff. I guarantee it will slow down the spread. And so just be careful out there and be aware of your surroundings, and just continue to wash your hands, continue to drink orange juice. Just use this disinfectant spray, spray everything. Do all you can. Just do all you can, and then it'll be we will get through this. So it'll be fine for all of us. So I'm thinking of you guys. We will get through this. So now we can get through this. So I'm just gonna read my tablet here. I just posted my story on Facebook, so that's why. So I'm gonna be reading my stories through there, and hope you guys will enjoy this video, enjoy my story, and enjoy my truth, all that. So here we go. It all started when I was just an infant. I was like a very gentle, very loving, warming child. I had a decent childhood, but everything starts to change for me when I was just about 3 years old. So you see, my mom, when I was like 3 years old, my mom started to notice I have like weird behaviors. I'm going to give you an example. My mom would see me staring at a blank TV for like hours and not respond. Like I would not respond to her. She would tend to call my mom would tend to call me My mom tended to call me, but I would not respond to her. I would not even answer her. And so once that happens to her, there was a really distressing part to this whole thing, and that my mom couldn't even touch me. She would try to tickle me and stuff, but she would not touch me. She would not touch me, so I wasn't even social towards her. I wasn't responding towards her, and so it was really hard for her to interact with me. And so my mom felt really hurt and very sad by that whole thing, and because of that whole thing, my mom wasn't having it. So the next thing she would do, let's see. She would take me to the doctor, and the next thing that happened, she took me to the doctor, and then there was a series of misdiagnoses that came in. Like, the doctors would say that I was mentally retarded. I think that my mom was not having it. She didn't find it to be very acceptable. She didn't agree with it. So the next thing, I'm gonna fast forward to it. So when that mixed diagnosis came in, I wasn't mentally retarded. I was in the first grade. I didn't do good with my grades, so due to that, I got held back. And so I got held back to first grade, and so it was very hard for me. It was very sad that I couldn't go on to the second grade. And so then fast forward to fourth grade, the weirdest thing happened when I was in fourth grade. So I found out that I was reading at a high school level. It was kind of weird at first because I didn't think I would read at a high school level. I would just read from like an accurate elementary school level, but I didn't know that reading at a high school level would be. It was very surprising in my opinion. And so next thing that I knew later on was I got diagnosed. The next thing I knew was that I got diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. So people need to understand that I was right around 10 years old when that happened. So I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was 10 years old. And so because of this type of syndrome, I had, let's see if I get this right. I had trouble making a lot of friends. So meaning by that, I wasn't very sociable. Like, I didn't know how to be social about towards people or around people. So it was like the next thing I was having difficult communication skills. Like, my communication skills was not that good. So due to that, like, I couldn't function with it. So not only that, I even tend to avoid making eye contact with others. Meaning, like, I would not, like, I get shy, or I would just do this. I would not pay attention. I would not make eye contact. And so, like, you guys have to understand that I did not even know how to act social around people because of this syndrome. So it was a very difficult time for me dealing with this type of syndrome as a kid. Because of the whole thing, I was forced to be in special ed classes from elementary to high school. So this happened from my childhood to teenage years, up until my I I was a freshman. Until I was a freshman, that was it. So up until that, I had to miss most of my elementary, middle school experiences due to this type of syndrome. So I had to go to special ed, miss most of my classroom experience to be in special ed. And so let me tell y'all, when I was in junior high, I was participating in the Special Olympics. It was a really great experience doing that, and it was a really great time. I enjoyed it. So this would happen because of this syndrome. I got to participate in the Special Olympics. I never thought I would do that, but it really gave me that confidence to step up and know that I can raise my confidence. So I just want to tell you guys about that. But on to this. I was pulled away from class. I was pulled away from class each time to be in special ed. And so just because of that whole experience, I had to miss my classroom experience due to me being autistic. Because of the syndrome, I was being bullied. Because I was bullied. I faced criticisms from others by saying certain things like, that I was not good enough, or I'm not smart enough to be something. I felt that at that moment, due to the bullying and the criticisms, that I felt like being autistic is really a bad thing for me. And I'm not gonna lie, I just wish that I didn't have it and had this type of syndrome. I just wish that back then, I wish that I was normal, that I could relate to others, could understand their perspective of where they're coming from and where I'm coming from. I just wish I was like a normal kid back then. It was a very difficult time for me due to that, like dealing with this type of syndrome, dealing with this form of autism, and it was a very hard thing to overcome at first. To me, it felt really sad for me to go through all of that. So later on, I realized that being autistic, having this type of syndrome, doesn't always mean that it's a bad thing. I just realized being autistic can be a good thing. I really tend to realize that doing great things like becoming the person who has good grades, being the second family member to graduate from high school, to go into college, becoming that person who receives majority of awards from you and them. For me, I'm graduating this year from seeing them. I'm not sure if I'm going to graduate. I'm not sure if I'm going to graduation due to this pandemic, but doing all these great things, I've truly accomplished many things. I had this YouTube channel that I really enjoyed and loved a lot, and I truly changed people's lives with my positivity. I realized that I've truly achieved so much being autistic, and I thought I was going to be alone. But truly I'm not alone in this situation, because I got the friends and family that inspire me. They are always in my corner. They know where I'm coming from, and they're the reason why I've stepped up, and they're the reasons why I have hope. They're the reasons why I I've made it here in this life to this day. Now, I realized for me that I can do anything with having Asperger's syndrome, and I just learned that as long as I learn to cope with it in my life, then I'll be fine. I realized that having Asperger's is not going to go away, even as an adult. It was like being autistic was a very memorable experience. Being autistic is a memorable experience in my life. I never thought that I would make it here today, but I am here. And so I just realized, like, in the end, what autism means to me is that everyone who has autism should get the recognition. They should get the acceptance. They should be appreciated. They should be loved. They should be understanding. They should be understood. Like, they shouldn't get discriminated. They shouldn't get bullied. They shouldn't do all these things. They shouldn't get that bad experience. They should be getting the recognition that they truly deserve. So I realized that being autistic is something that I should be thankful for. And so being autistic is such a great blessing in the world. And so that was the whole takeaway from this video. Like, I wanted people to understand where I'm coming from with this, with any kind of autism. Like, if you have friends who has any kind of autism, just be more understanding, be more accepting, be more loving, and understand where they're coming from, and understand their struggles, understand that they can overcome. Be that ally that can help them, that be their mentor, like be their friend, be their inspiration, be those great things, and it'll be this whole world will be in a much better place with this month, Awareness Month, as Autism Awareness Month, as World Autism Awareness Day continues today, and Autism Awareness Month tends to go on throughout this month. Like, let us continue to accept, let us continue to understand, let us continue to love others who has autism. Let us continue to shine the light on autism. Let us continue to spread awareness of people who has autism. So that's my whole takeaway. That's my story. That's my experience, and that's my truth of how I got diagnosed with autism. So be that ally is all I'm asking you, and be more understanding, and be more just that inspiration to them. Like, never give up on us, never give up, and just keep fighting for us, and just be more understanding, just relate to us. And so that's my story, and that's all for this video for today. First off, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy it, and I will have more videos coming up very soon. Just bear with me on that. I think a mukbang video and the message of the week. Like I said, in these crazy times of getting through this pandemic, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys continue to wash your hands, drink orange juice, do all those things, like get hand disinfectant wipes, spray, all that stuff. Be careful, be aware of your surroundings, like wear face masks, wear all those things. And so until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, Fly Guy out. Peace.